As we're working through the code for the header of our site here, we've used quite a lot of Bootstrap boilerplate. Though it may seem like we've just memorized all these classes, that's not the case. We've simply copied the structure from Bootstrap and customized it. On that note, I'll paste in the last bit of header code from the completed project, piece by piece, and explain it. The anchor element here will be the parent menu containing a font awesome user icon and the text My Account in a paragraph. It uses the data toggle attribute to link up to the Bootstrap JavaScript and open the drop-down menu when clicked. The drop-down menu that opens uses several Django template tags to determine what to display in the menu. If the user is authenticated, we want to display a drop-down item for their profile and a link to log out. Otherwise, we want to display the options to log in or register if they don't have an account. These account logout, account signup, and account login URLs are coming from the allauth URLs we included in the project level urls.py. In fact, if you're curious, try opening the project and going to URLs such as accounts/broken, and you'll see that all the allauth URLs and their names are there. Finally, if the user is authenticated and a super user, we want to provide them with a link to manage the store by adding, updating, or deleting products. The final list item here is the shopping bag link. This is not much more than an anchor element with a font awesome icon in it, but there is some Django template logic here. You'll notice we're checking whether this grand total template variable exists, and if it does, then we want to display the total formatted to 2 decimal places. If not, we'll just display 0. We're using the same template variable to determine which classes to apply to the element, so if there's something in the bag, the font will be bold and a different color. Now that the header's done, I'm going to commit my changes again. Git add dot, git commit -m, added main page header. If we open the project at this point, it's going to look pretty terrible since we haven't added any CSS yet, but the functionality is there. Submitting a search query adds a URL parameter of Q, and the My Account dropdown and shopping bag links appear to be working. You can also see now why we need the empty page header at the top of the home page, since the header is covering up some of the text. We'll fix this with the CSS file we're about to build. Before anything, I'm going to create a few new folders. Make dir static, make dir media, and make dir static/CSS. The media folder is going to hold our homepage image along with eventually all our product images, and will be the place new product images go when a new product is uploaded by a store owner. The static folder is where our CSS, JavaScript, and other static files will live. I'll create a base.css file here in the static folder, and then upload the homepage image into the media folder. You can find the link to this file on this video's page. Now let's start writing the CSS to style our homepage. First, I'll set the HTML element's height to 100%, as this will allow our H100 classes and vertical centering to work. Next, we need to add the background image to the body element, which we can do with the size of cover and options of no repeat, center, center, and fixed, which will ensure that it stays put in the center of the page. I also want to add a height calculation to the body element, which will be 100 VH minus 164 pixels, the eventual height of our top header. Finally, I'll add a default font color and font family for the body of the site. If we run the server and check it out now, it's already looking quite a lot better. The homepage image isn't working yet, but we'll fix that in a few minutes. I'm also going to quickly add a couple more classes and an ID to the main header div in base.html to make its background white, add some padding, and make sure that it's only displayed on large screens since this section will look different on mobile. I'm now going to paste in the rest of the CSS and go through it. I've taken this icon class from another CSS framework similar to Bootstrap called Bulma, which will ensure that whenever we use font awesome icons, they will always stay perfectly centered and have a consistent size unless we manually change it. The logo font class will be used throughout the site to maintain consistency with the uppercase font of the logo whenever we want to call attention to something. And the main logo link class here just makes it so that the logo only takes up as much space as the text requires and no more. These next several lines are styling which we'll use consistently throughout the site for buttons so that they match the theme of the Shop Now button on the home page. And finally, I've added a text black class and a border black class, similar to Bootstrap's color helper classes like text success, text info, and so on. Bootstrap doesn't actually have a black class as of this recording, so I'm creating my own and I've marked them as important because we will always want elements using these classes to obey them. These classes will allow us to have both primary and secondary call to action styling on all site buttons, giving our users a consistent user experience.